Boom, boom, boom. I don't know if you have tuned into this channel or not, but do. Enough about me. In this video, we'll just be discussing my ideas, thoughts on game pickup, cold approach pickup, meeting women, my thoughts on this area, given my 12 years, probably going on 13 years of realizing that you can improve yourself, realizing that you can improve with women, that you're not just a leaf in the wind. You aren't just born with either you got it or you don't, but realizing no, everything must be earned. You must get out there. You must make things happen for yourself. You must put in the time and effort like anybody else that's come before you, that you see executing at a high level. Anybody, they put in a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of dedication on the back end to get to where they are. Everything is a skill in life. It's been 13 years for myself that I've realized this, and you continue to realize this. You will change your reality as well, like I did, internally, which then eventually will change your external reality. And that's my understanding of things. That's what I believe. There's a lot of beliefs out there, but that's what I believe, and that's what I've experienced. I guess you could say that's my anecdotal experience. And that's what I believe, is that it all starts in the head. It all starts in the mind. Not that kind of head, but in the mind. And that's where it starts, your beliefs. From there, you then change your actions. Everything starts as a concept, as a belief, as a vision. And then it manifests into reality. Now, I only got like 30% on my phone. I know that I haven't made a video in a long time, and I've been itching to make a video. It's been in the back of my head. I know that I need to be consistently putting this content out there. If I'm going to reach people that need help, that don't realize these things, if I can find people that are also struggling in life, like I struggled, I didn't realize these ideas. They didn't become real to me. I didn't discover these different ideas, and I didn't educate myself like I have been until I was like 25. Before then, I was lost in the sense that I wasn't very conscious. I wasn't very conscious of my actions. I wasn't very conscious or even really cared or thought about my future. I didn't really think I had control over my reality as much as I realize that now. I wasn't even conscious of my beliefs, my belief systems. I was very uneducated as well, and I didn't see the value in education. I didn't see the value in a lot of things. I wasn't very appreciative either. I didn't have gratitude. I didn't have appreciation like I do now. I was very much of the thought that you don't really have control over your life or your circumstances, or that your actions is what produces an outcome, or that you can build a skill. I mean, there's so many things that I now know and have come to believe because I've proven it for myself, and I've changed my own life internally. And I've built skills to a high level, and I built skills to a high level before I even knew these things. And that's why when I then later read the literature on skill acquisition and all my experiences up until the point when I started reading more about psychology and learning more about so many areas of life, I still built a skill at a very high level. So then I'm reading all the literature on it. It's almost like I did it backwards. It's like I read all the literature on skill acquisition. It's like, okay, this makes sense. The 10,000 hour rule. When I look back on my highest accomplishments, let's say in skateboarding, because that was my first love. Ever since the age of 12, when I, met somebody that had explained to me that you can be sponsored and that you can be a professional skateboarder. Ever since that day, that was something that I wanted to do. For some reason, I loved skateboarding. I loved the look of it, the style, I guess it was just very appealing to me. I was passionate about it. I had an older brother who also exposed me to it as well, watching some skateboard videos like Goldfish. If you know skateboarding, you're going to know how classic and influential that video was, or Mouse. Those were the two videos that I remember that my brother had. Gave me a skateboard. I met kids that skateboarded even back when I was probably like 10 years old, maybe 11 years old. I mean, I had friends that I skateboarded with, knew nothing about sponsorship or any of these things, but just very much enjoyed it, probably because my older brother was a big influence in my life. I didn't grow up with a father, so the people that I looked up to was my older brothers. Luckily enough, I had older brothers, had younger brothers, I should say. Thank God. I mean, thank God that I say thank God. I grew up going to church, and I was exposed to religion and these things at a young age. And, I've gone through many phases I shouldn't say phases, but I've come to different ideas and beliefs, and I've just come to have, I guess, my own experiences in life, and I've come to my beliefs and decisions around various things have changed over time, right? And they may continue to change. But basically, I'm saying right now at this point that I wouldn't consider myself religious. I guess you would say that I'm agnostic, meaning that I just say that I don't know. So I appreciate the teachings and the learnings from all different types of religions and spirituality, and I'm just open to learning from all places. I'm not afraid to expose myself to contradictory beliefs. I'm looking at what is out there. What are the different kinds of beliefs out there? What are the different ways of living? What's going on out there? I'm learning. I'm going to, funny enough, back when I was growing up and going to church, when I was 12, I asked that I didn't want to go anymore, and thankfully my mom respected that and allowed me to make my own decisions in that aspect, which is, I think, amazing. But before then, so I was going to church, and I actually got sidetracked. I forgot where I was going with that. But basically, I said on here, thank God, but I don't necessarily know if there is a God. But I will say that it's comforting, and I say that as a way to say I'm grateful. I have gratitude. If it's not God, just thank you, the universe. Thank you for that blessing, whatever it may be. The point in me saying that is that's a benefit. That I had a parent that respected my decision not to want to go to church anymore, and allowed me to have my own beliefs and allowed me to make my own decisions for myself. So that's all I mean when I say thank God. But yeah, I did get sidetracked. But basically in this video, I'm sorry, because I am getting to a point. My point is, we're talking about game. We're talking about pickup. If you got through all that, this is what we're talking about. I have to remind myself. And this video is going to be beneficial for you if you are looking to get better with women yourself. And the reason why, because if you're watching content like this, if you're looking for answers, if you're studying from different individuals that you might find on the internet, then I'm somebody that's also putting my content out there. Given that I have 13 years of experience pursuing this, taking action, but also watching the content that was out there as well, right? And then I'm giving you my perspective on that after 13 years of doing that, of watching content. I know the guys that are out there. The type of content that's on YouTube. I've seen the pickup coaches that are out there in these industries. I'm aware of the different, pills and beliefs that people are talking about, but I'm not one, especially after my experience, like, I guess that was my point, is like the experience that I've had in skateboarding, skill acquisition, right? And then reading the literature on these types of things gives me a unique perspective, because I see that these things are true when you change your beliefs. Like, I see things, again, that are true to me. Again, it's anecdotal, but the literature that's out there, and I don't agree with all literature, so it's like, but some of the literature out there, these concepts or ideas, because I guess too, who knows if these concepts or ideas are necessarily accurate. Who knows if they're necessarily accurate, but when you have the experience and you've gone out and you built a skill, or even if you're going out and you want to improve your dating life, right? You go out and you start talking to women, you see that this is an improvable skill. It's communication skills. So I understand this because I had my experience in skateboarding, and I saw the time and the dedication that I had to put towards that to reach the levels of skill that I did in that area, right? Okay, and then that's what I was getting at, is that my highest accomplishments in that area, right, were about around the 9-10 year mark for me. Maybe even a little further. Could have been like 11 year mark or whatever it was. Like, I stopped skateboarding at 25, but I ended up getting some photos featured in some magazines, and then I ended up getting sponsored more. So I was getting sponsored, and these were the types of things that I was working towards or wanted. I didn't even realize I was working towards it because, again, at that time I wasn't even aware of all these different belief systems and things that I understand now. So at that time I was more probably under the idea, without even realizing it, but I was under the idea that you're more of a natural. Some people have it, some people they don't. I had just that belief in myself that I could do it, but at the same time, I was very insecure. I wasn't very confident, right? But I got a lot, but somehow I was just really liked to do this. I got around people that like to skateboard too. I was seeing that I was learning things. I think actually a guy, I am getting to a point here. Hey, if you like this video, I'm here to add value. I'm here to relate to you, let you know that you can improve your dating life. And then I'll even mention, if my phone doesn't die, I only got like 30%, but I'll even give my thoughts and ideas on the industry and how you can improve with women and in your social life, if that's something that you want to do. And I'm saying I came from also a very low place as well, and I was able to do that. And also my experience in skateboarding shows me more so that if you're taking action and if you put in the focus and the time and the effort, that's how you build a skill. It's true. Just the same within socializing, just the same within any area of life, right? So the medium in how I learned that was through skateboarding, but you will learn that through any skill that you develop for yourself. But for me, the first thing was skateboarding, and that's what it taught me, right? But funny enough, also reading, learning, educating myself later down the road. Again, I didn't see the value in all that. I could have taken it a lot further than I did, but I took it as far as I did just with pure passion and dedication and the love for that activity at that time. And then you get down into the psychology of things and why it probably was more appealing for me, and I got a lot of confidence from that because I was getting praised for the tricks, and you cheer for one another, and that feels good, and the validation I got from that probably fueled me to want to do it more too. And then people telling me, like, again, I had a really influential friend back when I was younger that was much more educated in skateboarding, came from a 2-parent family, probably, that's maybe he was a little more well-adjusted. I'm not saying everybody's going to be more well-adjusted coming from a 2-parent family, but my point is that, the guy, maybe, I just say that because he probably seemed like a well-adjusted guy. We were friends, and maybe his parents had some influence in teaching him the value of educating yourself. As well, maybe he had a more structured lifestyle or was more disciplined. His parents disciplined him or whatever. They seem like successful people. I get it. There's a lot of nuance to life, and that doesn't mean that everyone's going to turn out that way. My point is that he was better at skateboarding. He educated himself on skateboarding, was reading the magazines. When I met him, he knew about the tricks and all these things. That's when I started writing down tricks. I don't even know how I knew to do that. Probably somebody told me writing things down was probably my mom. I'm sure she probably knew to write things down. It's a long time ago, right? So it's hard to remember. It could have even been a friend or maybe something I learned in school then, but whatever it was, I guess it was dreaming, right? I think my mom was a big dreamer. She had vision. She had that dreaming aspect, and probably knew that when you write things down, or maybe I was exposed to this idea somewhere, I don't know, but I wrote down the tricks that I wanted to learn in my calendar, actually, that they give you for school. I didn't write anything in that journal or that schedule that they give you in school, but I wrote down the skateboard tricks I wanted to learn. And then funny enough, that's another thing you learn, that writing things down, visualizing, this is how you also is another way to build a skill, right? To build a skill, it's not just about doing it. You can break it down into all these other ways and other peripheral ways to increase your learning, to increase the speed in which you learn, to learn in general, not even just the speed, but just actually learning. Like if you do the same thing and you're not learning from what you're doing, if you're not learning from the failure, you're not going to get better either, right? So analyzing things, educating yourself, doing things, everything you can to give yourself better odds of success, because again, nothing's even guaranteed either. But there is a science to this world. Even though science, you're always testing the things that you know, and you're looking to look at things objectively, but basically that's the point, is like there's a way to build a car, there's a way that electricity works, there's a reason why there's laws to this universe. There is laws to this universe that if you adhere to, then you can create certain things. That's a fact, right? So that being said, it's the same thing with skill acquisition. Right? So you do something enough, if you practice, if you're putting in the work, the physical work, if you're taking physical actions towards a thing, then you're going to produce results. That's just a fact. The more you do something, the better you get at it. Wow, simple concept. I didn't even know that when I was younger, as far as I recall, right? Because it was a long time. I can't say that I know exactly how I believed at that time. I mean, I know certain things, or I know to believe I felt certain ways and experienced things certain ways, but I know things different than I do now. So, our memories sometimes are somewhat flawed too. And the way we look at things when we were younger, we were looking at them at that way when we were at that stage in our life. Now we're looking at it back from the stage that we're at now, or the knowledge or the understandings of life that we have now through our experience, through learning. And now we're looking at it through that lens. Right? So it's hard to say if it's fully accurate. That's also a good technique though too, is when you've had traumas or things that affected you when you were younger, you can then go and visualize it back when you were that age and look at it from this view now, and actually maybe look at it with different understanding, and you can then perhaps help to get over those traumas or realize where that's coming from, to help you then to improve that area maybe you've been affected, and improve that area that's been affected by that experience, and then override it in a way through progressive desensitization, or there's many other techniques out there, right, which you can look into. So yeah, the correlation there, I built the correlation between game and that aspect. It's like, I know what it takes to build a skill, right? And then even after like a decade of not skateboarding, when I gave it up, actually it wasn't a decade, it was like probably close to, it was like 8 years or something, when I stopped skateboarding at 25. And then I was reading literature and then pursuing this area of my life, my social skills, meeting women, improving my dating life, relationships, learning about those things, not just learning about those things, but learning from all areas of psychology and business science, like just a ton of different areas, like self-development books, health, nutrition. I started looking into all these things, and I was doing that then for probably a decade. Then I picked up skateboarding again. Suddenly I just had that urge. It was like, it was over that time in 2020, which I don't know if we're supposed to say that on here, so I won't. But, I took three years basically and just started skateboarding again. And I dedicated myself to it for 3 years. Again, from now, with the knowledge that I had gained over the period of a decade. So now I'm seeing all of these principles and concepts and theories all put from a new perspective, because I'm seeing now the amount of effort that I had to put in to start seeing slight gains in my skill set. Although I did pick it up pretty quick, but I never reached the level that I was at, obviously, from when I had put in the original over a decade of time into that pursuit. That was 13 years of pursuing being a professional skateboarder, right? So I did not get up to the same degree that I was at the peak of my the peak of my experience, my skill set at that time. But I still was able to actually learn. I actually did tricks that I had never done when at my peak of skateboarding, right? I still didn't learn or do the tricks that I know I had landed at that time, but I also was doing tricks that I was never able to do at that time either, when I picked it up for that 3 years. So that's pretty incredible. There was times when I went to sleep, I remember this distinctly. I went to sleep. I had a dream about doing a nose grind, nollie, pop out early. And I dreamt I could do backside nose grinds, but then I dreamt about backside nose grind, nollie, pop out early. I friggin' dreamt about it. I had never done that trick ever. I dreamt about it so vividly that I went there that day when I woke up and I could land the trick. I landed it within a very small amount of tries. So that's the power of visualization. That works. When you dream, that's no different. You can visualize like you dream is the idea. Visualization, visualizing you doing the trick, visualizing what you're doing. This is a technique, this is a strategy that works. But based on my anecdotal experience, but also there's literature out there that talks about these things and goes deeper into it. So I'm not the only one. And then you look at professional athletes, the guys at the top, they visualize. They visualize, especially in athletic pursuits, say they're visualizing, they're optimizing in the gym, they're optimizing in their diet, they're optimizing everywhere that they can, because at the highest level, the guys that are optimizing the most, sometimes that's what it comes down to. That's how close in skill people are. Where if you start falling off on these areas, the guy that's adhering to all these areas that they're disciplining themselves in, and they're looking at all the different areas that they can get those 0.1% return on their investment. Because when you get a higher level skill set, it's hard to eke out. You're eking out those bits of progress. That's what you're trying to do, trying to eke that shit out, and you're trying to find every way in which you can to get that much better, to be that much better at your craft, to beat out the other team, the competition, to win the strongman competition, whatever it is. So visualization is one of those things that you can start doing. Meditation, visualization, spirituality. I'm talking about now with game and getting better at that skill and being more effective and better in that area of your life. That's how you're going to build this skill set, especially if you're coming from a low place, if you're coming from a place where this didn't come easy for you, if you're coming from a place where you feel beat down, disrespected, your friends talk shit about you behind your back, people are trying to assassinate your character, tell you who you are, trying to say that you can't live your life a certain way, that you're not able to accomplish certain things. That's maybe what's going on in your head. That's kind of the feedback that you're focusing on and that you're getting in your life right now, where you're coming from a place where you don't have a lot of money, where you don't have the career you want, where you don't even realize that you can't work on building your skills in your social life, whether it's with male friends, whether it's with female partners. You don't realize that that's a thing that you can do. I got laid a few times, actually, before I had learned about game. Again, I started learning game at 25. That's when I read the book, The Game. That's when I started, reading things on Mystery Method and going through and then learning about the RSD and then, watching all this kind of content, exposing myself to all these different kinds of ideas, going back to school, educating myself. Started doing a lot of focusing on this area of my life, and then that's how I was then became passionate about the dating area of life in my life. That was super meaningful to me at that time. It became so meaningful. But this is what this applies to too, right? Eking out that growth in every area, right? So you might be coming from a low place. But when you realize that this is something you can improve, it can change your life, like it changed for me. Because I was socially, I was very unaware. Socially, I didn't realize I could improve social skills. I didn't realize that, if I act this way, or you can treat people this way, or looking at responses from people, seeing the kind of feedback you're getting, realizing that you can take rejection, that you can keep approaching, and that when you see an attractive woman, you can go up and you can make the attempt and approach her or make friends with somebody if you want to. And there's different strategies and techniques and ways of communicating that are more effective than others, realizing you could do this. And again, even my understanding of that has evolved over time, because I was getting into it again, uneducated, then educating myself for over a decade, 13 years now, of now continually reading and evolving in that area of my life, right? So in the beginning, it was like transitioning from this high level skill set in skateboarding, but doing it with shitty belief systems, feeling much like the victim of life, much like the leaf in the wind in life, no control, feeling like I had no control over my life, feeling like I was pretty much at the effect of life, that my circumstances was something I could not change, even though I didn't even realize I believed that, right? I didn't think about beliefs and character development, or that you could develop and even if I didn't, even that you could just build a skill socially, that you could build confidence, you could build self-esteem. These things are something you can affect. Then realizing that you can build your skills in all areas of life. That's how it is with everything. So coming from this place of this high level skill set in skateboarding, and then like basically, again, having no education in that area, but then finding game and relationships and meeting women, and then putting in a decade of educating myself, reading, going out, pushing myself, overcoming the fear of resistance, of talking to strangers, of overcoming internal challenges, worries, insecurities, to then go do that, to then evolve and believe that that's something that I can cultivate for myself. And that's what I was saying, is I got laid before I even learned any of that stuff too. But again, I didn't, it's so crazy. Like it was sort of like it's like being a natural, as they talk about. In a way, I was like kind of like a natural, but then I wasn't, because I was also like, didn't believe, it was more opportunistic. I had opportunities that came up probably as I gained more like notoriety in skateboarding, and at a very low level I was and did end up becoming recognized, at least in my circle and somewhat in the, you know, in my city. And because I had ended up getting photos running magazines, that definitely you know, gave me more recognition, which, you know, then being exposed to pressure and all these kinds of things, and I was doing cool tricks, I had style, I really could have probably taken it all the way had I known the beliefs that I know now. So that's another thing, is like, if you are a skateboarder, yeah, I like to focus on game. Yeah, that's my main passion right now in life, and that's what I dedicate myself to. But honestly, I had over a decade of experience pursuing skateboarding. I have so much knowledge in that area. If somebody was willing to listen to me in that area, I don't care who you are, I could help you not only with your technique, but in becoming a professional skateboarder, if that's something that you want to do. Or probably you wouldn't focus on that actually, but if you even just want to get better at skateboarding and you want to get as good as you could possibly get, like, I can help you do that. I know that just as much as I know I can help you in the dating realm. And that's why I'm making these videos too. But if you are, you know, someone that is into skateboarding, but basically like peak performance, that's what I'm into. But I apply that to game, right? And meeting women and relationships. But basically what I'm doing is like peak performance. How do I be the best that I can be in this area? And how could I get you the best that you could be in skateboarding or in game, if that's something that you want to get better at, and you want to change your life, and you want, you know, also maybe you don't have support, maybe you have no one to go to, maybe you don't know who to talk to. You know, I'm somebody that cares about your success, in the sense that if you value my service, if you value what I bring to the table, if you enjoy these videos, if these videos help you and you value that, then you show that by compensating me, because I offer a service. But yes, I do actually care. When you invest in me, I realize you're serious about this, and then I'm going to do everything I can to help you to succeed in this area. I'm going to do everything that I can. I take you out into bars, into clubs. I get you approaching women. I'm on your ass. I'm not sugarcoating things. I'm telling you the honest truth. You got to be willing to take that too, though, because that's the thing, is like, I'm going to be honest with you. You know, if you are fucking up, if you're doing something weird, if you're doing something incorrect, I'm going to tell you how it is. But why? Because you're compensating me heavily for that, for my time and for my service, and for the 13 years of experience that I have in the dating realm, approaching women, getting results for myself. But not only that, the other 15 or 13 years that I dedicated in skateboarding and reaching the levels of skill that I did in that, and having all the experience that I have in that area, not only just in skill acquisition and understanding how that is done, but also my unique experience in that area, being exposed to, say, the recognition that I was exposed to, understanding and going through all the different pressures that come along with that, being exposed to shit talk, being exposed to people coming down on you socially, and having to deal with that with no tools, no support, no understanding of what was even going on at that time, but still persevering and executing and getting to the level in which I did. Also, not doing everything that I could to have succeeded, not knowing all the beliefs that I know now, not having all the education that I have now, not having that, but then still reaching the level of success that I did, which was, I went pro basically. I was a pro, yet I drank. I was doing drugs at like 15. I was starting smoking weed every single day with not knowing that I needed to put in dedicated practice on a daily basis at a minimum, or else I have no chance of being one of the best in the world like I wanted to be, being better than anyone had ever done it, or at least being considered one of the best and changing skateboarding as a whole, doing things that had never been done. That's the pinnacle of success in skateboarding. That's the pinnacle of success in anything. When you change the game, when you're doing things that have never been done. That was my idea at that time. So I had the vision, I had the passion, right? I had raw passion and just the desire to accomplish a goal. I had a dream, and I dreamed big, yet I was very beat down. I had low self-esteem, low self-confidence, yet that's probably where those dreams came from, those delusional dreams came from, right? That's probably where it came from, because I was so beat down, insecure, lost. Yet sometimes that's what drives you, and that's what drives you to be the best and to set big goals for yourself, right? So I have that experience. Then I'm bringing my 13 years of experience in dating and pursuing this passion for the last 13 years and probably for the rest of my life, for the foreseeable future. This is what I love. This is what I live for, among other things. But why? Because why do I live for this? Because it's not just about getting girls. It's a self-development pursuit. It's growing as a man. It's also becoming better in your relationships, being more loving and caring and compassionate for the people around you, having more gratitude for the life that you have to live. It will improve your relationships with family, relationships with friends. It'll improve your financial life. You can improve all areas of your life, and this is one means in which can teach you to do that. And if you're passionate about this, like I was passionate about skateboarding, or like I'm passionate about the dating and relationships now, then that's more than half the battle right there. The fact that you have that, run with it. Run with it. If you want to be the best that you can be in socializing and with getting the best life that you can possibly have, and one of those areas in which you want to do that is with women and your sex life, then run with it. So I have all that experience, and that's not even scratching the surface, as they say. And so yes, I want you to succeed, but how do you but I can't invest in you unless you invest in me. Nobody can. Like, it's not even about you and me or anybody or whatever, whoever you work with or anything in life. I have the work ethic. And I have the passion and desire to help somebody because I love this area, but I can't do that unless I know that person is truly committed to their own success. No matter what you do, there is an investment. There's an investment in life, no matter what you do. When I was skateboarding, it was the skateboards that I had to invest in. So basically, though, what I'm saying is that I'm bringing you free videos and I'm trying to help you in these videos. But then if you want to actually go out with me and want to have me take you out and show you the process, show you how to get girls, show you how to improve this area of your life, help you to get over fears, resistance, challenges, the things that are maybe holding you back from taking action, or maybe you are taking action, but again, I'm talking about peak performance here, so you want to learn a way to take it even to another level, right? Then let's work together. I want to work with you, but you show me that by compensating me. Funny enough, though, I am offering also free 30-minute phone calls as well. So you can hit me up too at datingdestruction@gmail.com, and we can hop on a free 30-minute phone call, and it's totally going to be, I'm going to respect your privacy. I'm not going to share anything with anybody. Again, because I value these things. I value these things because I've been through it. I came from a very low down place. Yet, funny enough, people want to call me a Chad or think that this shit comes easy for me. Which, funny enough, it's so stupid. I'm not a Chad. I have qualities that are good, but I guess, what is a Chad, right? In my mind, I'm not a freaking Chad. I got insecurities. I got challenges like anybody else. Girls reject me all the time. But I guess to somebody, I could be a Chad. So, hey, you're entitled to your opinion. And I'm not, hey, if you want to call me Chad, call me a Chad. I'm fine with it. But my point is that if you're watching this and then someone calls me a Chad and then this person goes, oh, yeah, that's right, he's a Chad. He doesn't know what it's like to struggle. Trust me, I know what it's like. And trust me, If you go out, though, and you continue to push yourself, you're going to see that everybody struggles. The guys at the top of the game, so to say, struggle. Everybody struggles. That's the point. The point is that everybody struggles. It's a struggle for everyone. Tiger Woods misses shots. Michael Jordan missed shots. The Lakers lose the game sometimes. That is the point. The point is that you train your ass off and you keep getting out there. The results will, I guess, unless you can make passive income, sort of like passively meet chicks, maybe like through Tinder or dating apps. Maybe you're Tyga. I heard that he has the rapper, and maybe he has people that go and actually find girls for him. I mean, sure, I guess you could reach a passive income stream in that area too. But if you're just like one of the normies, right, like me, because I am a normie. You're watching these guys on YouTube and stuff, they've made it. They are fully successful. Me, like financially, let's say. But again, perception is not the reality either. But let's just say financially, some of these guys have made it, right? I'm not. I'm still fucking struggling, man. But guess what? That's even more relatable to a guy that's also struggling. We're all struggling. I don't care who you are, even if you're at the top. Just because you're at the top and you got the money, you don't have the skill set. This is the thing. Money's not the only thing that makes you successful either. Money's not the only thing that makes you successful. Thing is, though, is that I dedicated myself to skill acquisition. That's the thing. When I'm a skateboarder, I didn't care about money, although I should have. I should have been caring about money because then it could have fueled myself to continue to skateboard, which is what I love to do, right? But still, I was like, this is all I care about. Funny enough, I needed money to buy skateboards. I needed money to buy trucks. You need to buy a skateboard basically every month. You need to buy shoes basically every month or more, probably more, right? But imagine that, $100 for a skateboard, fucking $100 for a pair of shoes back then. Even now, that's like your standard that you're going to be paying. Plus trucks, wheels, bearings. Then you get into the whole thing about image. Do you know about image? Yeah, I didn't care about image in these things. I liked certain people's style and what they dressed in these things, and then I looked up to people and I wanted to dress like them or these things. But I didn't know about image, that's a thing, that's actually something that can influence people. And maybe, again, image, marketing, sales, being a professional skateboarder, making money. You need to make money. How the hell was I making money? Yet you still find a way, yet you still make a way of getting what you need to accomplish your goals, right? But had I realized, wait a minute, I can get a job. I can make my own money. I can support myself. I can start develop time management skills and scheduling. And I can work for 8 hours a day if I want and still have the requisite amount of time in a day to still put into my craft, which can get me to the highest levels. Not only that, eventually then you do get sponsored, or then you do find other ways of making money, which frees up more time for you ideally. So then you have more time to focus on your craft, which then gets you even better. Or you optimize in your diet, you're optimizing going to the gym, your physical health, your physical well-being. You can develop certain attributes and qualities and abilities through peripheral means that are going to help you with the main task that you want to cultivate skills in. In skateboarding, it would have been going to the gym, focusing on my diet. In game, it's focusing on your diet, going to the gym, focusing on your finances, taking care of all these areas of your life, and then time management skills, scheduling, not drinking, not doing drugs, living a clean life, taking care of your own internal well-being, educating yourself, reading, self-education, self-development. There is so many other things that you can focus on to get better in this area. I guarantee, though, a lot of people make excuses and they don't acknowledge this. They don't realize this. They don't acknowledge it. They want to lie to themselves. They're not tracking their progress. They're not actually looking at their consistency. How often are you going out? How many hours are you going out for? What are you doing within that time? Then you can even break it down further into micro detail of the actual strategies that you're using, or again, educating yourself in all these other, or taking control of all these other areas of your life, so that then you will help you be better in, say, game with women, right? If you're going out to bars and clubs, plus you're working a job, plus you got all these other areas that you want to focus on, Well, then you got to make sure you're getting the proper amount of sleep, or else it's not going to be sustainable. Your life needs to be sustainable. You need to be consistent in your actions. You need to be putting in the requisite amount of time to reach a high level skill set. On the other hand, you need to acknowledge that there is no guarantees in life and be happy and present every single day and have gratitude, appreciate the negative emotions, learning emotional control, realizing that you may never accomplish your goals. And knowing this, then still saying to yourself, I'm committed to this process. I'm committed to the amount of time that I'm spending. I'm happy with the process itself, because process precedes the result. Process precedes the result. That is a fact. There is a process to everything. You are not guaranteed results, meaning you are not guaranteed to meet a woman that wants to have sex with you. You are not guaranteed to get any woman ever in your life. You're not guaranteed to get the types of women you want in life. So you must be happy with the process itself. But then you have faith, and you know, once again, I know, you may not know this, I know through my anecdotal experience, once again, there's no guarantees though, even though I say and believe what I believe. But let's say in a perfect world, you know you're going to live as long as you need to live. You know that you can put in and that you are putting in the time necessary through the experiences and shared learning and wisdom from others. You're putting in that time. So you know that given you do this and you're following this process and you're learning, that you are eventually going to get results, because there's over billions of people in this world, and you're no different than anybody else. And there's people always at a lower level that succeeded where you are failing. So you know and must believe that you can do this too. Then you are going to get results, right? But it comes down to process. So what is your process? What are your habits? What are your routines? Now you're questioning all these things, and you're just continuing to iterate and develop yourself and try to get better every single day. It never stops. And just the same as every single time you go to the gym, every single time you go to play a sport, every single time you're going to sit down and do an intellectual pursuit, there's a warming up process. This is what I mean. I know, or have listened to a lot of these people. They're implementing marketing strategies, they're implementing sales strategies, just the same as I am, right? But the thing is too, though, is that I'm also trying to offer real value. I'm sharing my knowledge. I'm trying to help you. I want to spread this knowledge. Why? Because if I can help you, it adds to my credibility, and then you're more likely to want to work with me. But I'm also putting this out there because I benefit. I'm getting practice talking on camera. I'm getting practice doing sales and marketing. I'm also getting practice with breaking down how to get results in this area. I'm getting practice communicating better with you, the viewer, and trying to convey my value, so I'm benefiting in a lot of ways, right? But I am trying to add value here. I'm giving you a real perspective from a guy that's not making his living from dating, a guy that still has to work, that still has many other passions and endeavors and pursuits. Yet this is one of my main ones, and that is still getting results and could still get even better results if I'm adhering to these things that I'm mentioning in this video. And if you adhere to them too, you can take things as far as you want in this area, just the same as any other area. I'm telling you this based on my experience and the fact that I've reached high levels of skills in different areas. I've fucked really hot girls that I at one time didn't think that was possible. And I've done that for myself, right? For me. And that's all that matters, is for you. If you want to get out and get external validation and go fuck a stripper, go fuck a porn star, right? Because you think that's going to be cool in the eyes of someone else, or you want to go fuck a celebrity, there's no reason you can't do that too, for the external result to then have to brag to someone. But if you want to develop your skills in this area and you want to have sexual relations with a woman that you are truly attracted to, and you could have a great time with, and you're going to have a great time doing it, and you're like somebody that you're excited to be with, I'm a testament to making that happen. I'm a testament to building skills in certain areas. I know this to be true, and I know it's true for you too then, because it's about the work ethic. Hard work beats natural talent that doesn't work. In my viewpoint, there is no naturals. It's all about hard work. I don't care who you are. It is about hard work, dedication, doing something for the requisite amount of time, putting in the dedicated practice, being consistent, as well as getting coaches. Yes. Guess what? I had coaches and mentors and people that I looked up to, even though I didn't realize that's what you call it. Coach, mentor, people you look up to. Find people you look up to. How about? Let's just call it that. Find people you look up to and that you're willing to learn from and that you're willing to model for the results that you want to get. Kanye West modeled Dr. Dre. The skateboarders I looked up to had people they looked up to and they copied them and they modeled from them. And maybe even some of them learned directly from them and were there not even realizing that they're learning from them. I was learning from people I didn't even realize I was proactively learning, finding mentors, finding coaches, finding people I looked up to. Actually, I probably idolized them and thought they were looking at them through this lens of perfection, thinking that how could I ever reach such a degree of skill? Me just being a normal, not blessed individual, yet you are blessed, yet you're here on this planet, yet you're going to die one day, yet this reality is going to end, that it's incredibly low. Like the fact that you're even here is insane. If you look at the math, when you try to look at it mathematically, and then the fact that you're going to die, that you're going to get old, that you're never going to have the opportunity to even approach women someday or do anything, yet you want to say, I can't do it. These people are somehow more capable than I am. No, you're just as capable. It's about hard work. It's about putting in the effort. It's about learning from people. It's about looking up to people. Find people to look up to. I mean, you don't have to look up to me. I don't look up to anybody now. In fact, if I was younger, I would have looked up to people as a measurement for what is possible and to then again not reinvent the wheel and look at them as a blueprint of what are their training methods? How much practice do they put in? How did they reach the level in which they reached? And then do the same thing, and that's your recipe for success. Now, there's little pieces to the puzzle and everything, right? That's why I learn from everyone. I'm willing to look at all the different people on YouTube. I'll watch a John Anthony. I'll watch a Playing with Fire. I'll watch all the other dudes on YouTube. The Justin Wayne, the RSDs, who else do I watch? I watch them all. It's entertaining. It's almost just like entertaining at this point. And then you're also listening to somebody else that's doing the same things ideally, right? And it's to know that there's someone else out there doing these things and struggling in the same sort of ways. That's the thing. We all struggle. I wouldn't look at them as some legend or somebody that's attained something that I can't attain. I look at them as another human being. That's how you should look at them. We all have flaws. We all have struggles. None of these guys, I don't care who it is, the guys at the top of the game, and that just means that they created a business for themselves that makes them money, that allows them the freedom and time to then go out and do what they want to do. But you can do that too. That's the thing. You can work any measly job, and no job is measly, but I'm saying that at some point you might think there's measly jobs out there. You can work any job. You can make the best of that job. You can make a fuck ton of money in that job if you dedicate yourself. But the thing is when you realize that you can do that, why not just start your own business? But maybe you don't want to start your own business. But that's the point, is that if you have time management skills, you can allocate time for your job, and you can allocate time to then go out and put it in the requisite amount of time in an athletic pursuit, an intellectual pursuit, or maybe it's game. And you can put in time to that, and you can reach you can have amazing experiences pursuing that area of your life, and you have the time no matter what you do, right? So I'm just saying though, that somebody, let's say you want to be a dating coach. You dedicate the time to building a business so that you can fund your passion, although you can fund your passion through any means. But the idea of being a dating coach is that now you have to learn to get other people results. They say no one's truly mastered something until they can teach it to somebody else and get them results. So by being a dating coach, now you're having to teach it to somebody else. By making these videos, now I have to break things down so that you can get results too. And that's what I'm doing in this video. I'm giving you the ideas, mindsets, and beliefs that are going to get you better at this. Get you not better, get you the experiences that you want to have in this area or any area. If you're willing to dedicate yourself, if you're willing to discipline yourself and do everything within your power to succeed, that's what it's going to take. You're only going to get the amount of results that you deserve in life. So if you're failing in this area, you're not putting in the requisite amount of effort. You've put in the requisite amount of effort and work. necessary to get you to where you are right now. That's my belief for myself. That's why I don't complain. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to make excuses. I'm just going to go and put in the work, and I'm going to look at all the areas that I'm fucking up in, all the areas, all my weaknesses that I can improve upon, and I'm going to work on those areas too. It's a constant process of improvement. So when you go and you now have a successful dating coaching business, you're able to teach people. Well, that's ideal if you want to reach if you look at this as a skill, like communication skills, dating, understanding women's psychology. Not everybody's that passionate about it to the point where they want to make a career of it, because the career of it also entails a lot of responsibilities too, where you're now going to your job now is to help somebody else. It's your time, it's your effort. Like in the Bible, again, I'm not religious, but I think there's a lot of wisdom in all different texts and learning from all different sources. But in the Bible, it says something about do not cast your pearls to swine. Well, I can go and try to preach the gospel in a sense to someone, whether it's like game or how great it is and how much it changed my life. But if somebody's not there and willing to learn, if somebody's not willing or even interested in that area, they're just not even going to listen. And in fact, they're going to be upset that you just are ranting to them. Or you might just go on for like an hour and talk to somebody about something and they don't see the point. They don't get anything from it, right? But you're passionate about this and you're telling them, hey man, you can do this too. Man, it's so fun. We should go out together. Oh shit, yeah, that would be great. We should start a business. We should make money together. We should be happy and live a great life. Look at this. We can go out there and make things happen for ourselves. Yet, if you don't want to hear that, if you don't see it, then you're not even going to receive what you're being given. And that's why it's don't cast your pearl to swine. Don't say things to people if they're not there to receive it. So then just enjoy people for where they're at. Stop trying to change people. Stop trying to convince people. Stop trying to, help people even in a sense. I mean, I wouldn't say that, but like, I guess in a way, just stop trying to like think that everyone needs to believe what you believe, or think that everyone is going to believe what you believe, or think that everyone's going to be interested in what you're interested in. That's why meet people where they're at. It's have friends with people, but allow them to live their life the way they're going to live it. And then, hey, if somebody wants to come to you, like if you came to me and you're like, yes, sign me up, take my money, I'm here to help you, and I'm going to get you results. That is my job. Get you results. Be a support system, show you a process, show you what you can do and how this works and what you're going to need to do, and then getting you there, giving you honest feedback, giving you external feedback like a boxing coach would, right? At one time I wasn't into boxing, it was skateboarding. So I looked up to other professional skateboarders and other people that I resonated with and right. But that, again, now I'm talking about with the education, the mindset I have now. And that means you're learning from everyone. That means you realize that like even in boxing, they have a coach. Michael Jordan had coaches. We have coaches. Why? Because we can't learn everything. We can't learn everything. So, but if you wanted to be really good at something, you just focus all on that thing, right? And then that's why you would get a coach. Maybe you want to be a professional boxer. You want to be a world champion. Well, you're going to get a coach and you're dedicating your life to that thing. All your time, effort, and focus into that thing. You might have a little bit, depending on, if you care about your time, if you value your time, if you're scheduling your days and these things, you're going to have a little bit of time for some other things, but you're not going to be world class at them. World class means you dedicate yourself to this thing. That's how you get world class at something. And even then, there's no guarantees, right? But let's say that you did that. You're like a boxer. You go, you get a coach. Now you have somebody that shows you the techniques. They're watching you, and you're going to be better than your coach. Yet your coach the coach doesn't mean that they need to be the best in the world either. In fact, the best in the world maybe aren't even good coaches. But then Mike Tyson learned from Custom Auto. Or you got Freddie Roach, who wasn't one of the best in the world. He was very good, but he then trained Manny Pacquiao, who became extraordinary, right? You surpass the coach. I'm here to service you. I'm here to help you. That is my job. I don't get paid unless that's the case. But then it's also you need to want to help yourself. You also need to have the drive to take action and get out there and make it happen for yourself. However, one of my services is that I take you out, hold you by the hand, and show you, not literally, but hey, maybe, but take you out and show you the process, show you what that looks like, demonstrating for you, because I'm out there too. I'm also out there now in the trenches, doing this, putting in the practice, putting in the hours, continually working on myself so that I can be not only better for myself, but so that I can be an example and so that I can have the confidence to say, yes, I value my time. Yes, you need to pay me for this, but it's also, yes, it's for me, but it's also for you. And then it also shows you and me that you have skin in the game, that you are dedicated to this, that I'm not just casting pearls to swine. As much as I'm willing to do that as well, in these videos, I don't make money, but I'm also putting this out there. This video will help you if you are looking for answers, if you're looking to improve in your dating life, you're looking to improve in any area of your life. This video is going to help you because I'm speaking from experience. I'm out there taking action in all areas of my life. I have all the experience that I have up until now. I'm here putting this out there for you. If you're willing to listen, if this is something you want to dedicate yourself to, if you're looking for answers. Now, some other things I want to touch on is like to say, all these other dating coaches, they struggle too. It doesn't matter who you are. And even these dating coaches on the internet, it doesn't even mean that they're like living the best lives either. I mean, hopefully they are. I hope that for everyone. You know, that's the thing too, though, is like, I'll learn from all of them. Guys want to talk shit on different guys. Like some of these guys talk shit on each other. I don't know any of them personally, but I've learned from them. And I look at it more now, just like I'm just hearing ideas. Ultimately though, you're not going to learn everything. There's never going to be a perfect time. There's never a perfect approach. There's never knowing everything what to say. That was something I evolved from in this over time too. In the beginning, you know, I'm just learning, right? I'm reading Mystery Method. I'm, you know, exposing myself to these different books and learning all different kinds of things. I'm listening to all different kinds of people. Like that, you know, in the beginning, it was like mystery, the book, The Game. Then it was Mystery Method. Then it was, you know, learning. There was this other company out there, Real Social Dynamics. Now I'm listening to these guys. They're giving suggestions on different books to read in these things. So now I'm educating myself and reading books. I also was getting results too. I was getting results as well. So I'm even like, holy shit, this stuff's like incredible. I mean, even when I first read the book, The Game, just going up to a girl or even the concept, just this concept helped me and would help you too, is like realizing that it's a skill and that rejection is normal and that you have to go up and make a lot of attempts. This is this is a numbers game, but you, just like poker or a lot of other things in life, just like basketball, anything is somewhat of a numbers game, right? But what it is that you're doing things to increase your odds of success over time. The more you do something, the more repetitions you do, the better you get at something, right? But in the beginning, again, I'm just learning. I'm getting exposed to these things, different ideas and stuff like that. So just that idea that like you need to keep taking action, need to keep approaching, and you need to take rejection. That's how you get better at this. And then eventually you're going to get results. So for me, even just having that idea in my mind, I was like, holy crap, that like changed my life. And then I went to I was like going to the gym, and I go to the gym and I see a girl I want to talk to, and I just go up, oh, hey, I like your shoes. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Start a conversation, get her phone number. Holy shit. Like that was insane to me. I was so happy. Like that was it changed my life, just that alone. In that moment, right? This crazy. Like I wasn't even getting results necessarily, although I was too, but even just doing that was like so exciting to me, right? And just realizing, wow, I can change my life. I can work on my social skills. I can improve with women. Holy crap, these, you know, it doesn't matter what people's opinions are of you. You go out into reality and you learn that you can still get results. You can still have success. You can still be happy. You can still have an amazing life for you, whatever that is for you. If that also means getting external results so that you get validation from others, that's something you can work towards too. But for me, it was more just like the internal satisfaction I got from doing something. I think too, though, the external results you get are a reflection of what you're doing when nobody's watching. They're a reflection of the actual effort and work that you are doing on a daily basis.